for clicking on the video. And yeah, since you last saw us, we had a pop-up thunderstorm last night. It was like one of those movie soundtrack storms. The lightning and the thunder crack-a-lacking and rolling, and we had 3/10 of rain. So yeah, it's not good for getting the rest of that hay lifted, and I'm imagining my renter is definitely not overly happy. Yeah, because around about midnight it hit. So I don't know how much more he got done. I got to run to town, grab a few more insulators to get a bit of fencing done, and then we can move the cows north. I got it all shut down for the night, but yeah, I don't think he got much more done. Got a few bales made. I got 74 bales done last night. And it looks like he just got one pass up and down the field, so anyway, run it down. I've never heard them this quiet, including Felicia. Jenny's right there. Apparently just cut my hand. Anyway, this is weird. Hey girls. Where's my Elizabeth? Hey sweetie. What are you doing? Hey? What'd you cut some discharge for? Hi Felicia. Hey girls. Coming? Come on. Come on. Come on, girlies. Come on. Come on, sweeties. Don't want to come. Come on, girlies. Hey, girly, girly. Careful, girls. Yeah, it's a bit of a bottleneck. Come on, babies. Come on, old sweetie. Here you go, darling. Hey, my jet star. You are so beautiful, girl. You okay? Oh, I know it's the hat. They're not a fan of the hat. Anyway, happy. Note to self, don't keep that heifer. they're off adventuring, figuring out their domain. Yeah, this is a marked difference from last year when it was so dry, because we didn't eat this right down because we were having trouble with calves getting out last year. But no, it's good. Yeah, one calf out. Got it to the corner, it broke through the fence into the silage field. So I drove it up here and I corralled it and shooed it right through the fence into here, and then walked it back through the gate like a little dingle nuts. So now that they can get used to their surroundings, I can rebuild these fences and then get the north dam ready for them. So nice to get done. Happiness is. You notice I'm saying that after I got the cab that broke out back in. Yeah. And who's at the front of the pack? Jenny, Felicia, and there's Ghosty. Yep. Don't worry, you got the whole half mile. Hi, Felicia. I know, she's the one that leads you astray. I'm just walking up, walking the mile, making sure there's nothing I haven't missed, and then I'm driving the swath back to the yard because, for all intents and purposes, it is done up here for now. I don't foresee me coming back to cut here later. Yeah. Anyway. Something that I hadn't quite realized until we started having problems here. I've never run this baler in straw yet. So, trying to see where the heck I'm supposed to be. So yeah, we were having issues. Some of the bales were tearing on one side, tearing on the other side, tearing in the middle. Yeah, we were having issues. So what I remembered was this baler is set up for 2 complete wraps, which is what I do for hay. So I figured I would turn it up. So 2 complete wraps on this baler at 68 inches is 2.4 on the wrap meter. So I turned it up to 3.0. So that should be just greater than 2.5 wraps. And what I'm also doing is I'm backing up and I'm letting the bale out and then driving away. Because I seem to remember this back when we were doing the first straw up at Peter's farm, doing wheat straw. The John Deere kicker bar is actually quite aggressive on net wrap. So it will actually end up damaging the net wrap when it pushes it out. What I'm talking about is that. So yeah, it just busts it. So yeah, it would only do it every like once in a while, not all the time. Oh, there's a straw roll right there. Problem with trying to catch up with a combine in the dark, and plus some of the rows were done before the rain, so they're damp underneath, so I don't want to do them. I might rake them. I'm going to leave that top corner. I know you guys are completely lost. I'm vertically lost and I own the field. Anyway, so that's my little tidbit. So ever since I've done that, I put the 2.5 wraps on the bales and I back up and back up, let the bale out, and then take off. That seems to be a big difference. So I am gonna get into this row. Just checking up on everybody. The only thing I'm worried about is any little bits of wire that got dragged off into the grass that I didn't find. Max was pretty good. He said that any time that any of the trees dragged wire out, he did the best he could to either break the wire off or bundle it up and shove it up into the tree pile. That way, when we do eventually burn these piles, we'll just bury what's left, because it'll be rocks and roots and then wire. So yeah, I'm thinking up in a couple of days, there's supposed to be rain coming, so in a couple of days I'll come in here and I'll take a drive around once the grass is down a little bit, and then I'll look for more wire, cut off any pieces that are hanging out of the tree piles, but you know, they look pretty good. At some point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them back into the paddock, because I want to let them just graze that back, because there's a fair bit of regrowth on it, but I want them to graze it back because that's where I'm going to be spreading the poop, because that's where I'm hoping either the end of this year or next spring, that big plow on that big old Allis-Chalmers will be shining up some boards. So again, I'm just going to take a run down to the bottom and then head out to the field and see if Peter's started combining it. Hey, sweeties. Anyway, so here is another part to this design, because if you remember in the springtime when I was putting these gates and these little short fences in, I built this one here to extend this tree row back to a gate here. So as the animals came out into the grazing paddocks, they got these in sections while still going back to the water trough. Well, now I'm closing this because at some point, once they're done grazing and they start working their way back closer to the yard at weaning time, they will have this paddock, but water will be coming from the dugout. Fingers crossed it's still warm enough, it doesn't freeze up. So that's why I'm closing this gate, because they'll have this paddock, but they're not coming this way. They'll have the paddock, and then I don't think you can see it from here. Just where you can see the dirt piles there, that's the dugout. There's a gate just over there. So yeah, they'll just come and go back and forward. Because as you can see, there's some pretty good regrowth. It's not back as far as it should be, thanks to the hoppers, but it's pretty good, and it's all good grass too. That's all fresh shoot. Like that there's not great, but then again, that's why we're plowing this up, because it's tired, it's done. And plus it's rough as a badger's bumhole, so. Yeah, and thanks to the hoppers, not a lot of the new trees that got planted survived either. Beggars. Anyway, Peter is going, he's got headlands up, so I've got to go get them baled off so he's not running over all that stuff, so let's get going. We're back at her. And lo and behold, they've added another thunderstorm on for today at supper time. So yeah, we're dropping the leather because he's got a lot of acres to cover. I don't even know if he's 50 acres into this 315. So he's got the headlands on the top drop for me, and he's now started on the headlands at the bottom. So I am going to get these out of his way as quick as I can, because it kind of helps me and it helps him. and getting them out of the way also stops, because we all know them shuttle cart drivers, they love to drive on the swath. So I'm just busting their nuts. I know they don't have much of a choice, they have to be wherever the grain is dropping. So I'm going to be at this for most of the day. So, open the door, drop the bale, and then drive forward. That way I'm not hitting it with the kicker arm. And every bale has turned out well so far. I spent half an hour today cleaning out net wrap off all the rollers, because with it bursting some of the bales, as you can see there's some Raggedy Ann bales out there, it would pull that net wrap back into the baler and wrap it around the rolls, so, and then that just causes more trouble. So we're good to go. Let's get on. And if you want to know what I mean by flat, your heart goes out to him. It was a dang good looking crop. It still is a good crop. Oh man, look at that. And that is at least 75% of the field. Looks like that. So if you can see this, I think it's, I'm not sure, I think it's a it's a MacDon, I just remembered that. It is a MacDon header, and tell you, if you're in tough conditions, you get yourself a MacDon. It'll literally spoon that stuff up off the ground. For sure. Yeah, so there's calling for rain at supper time, thunderstorm. Today, tomorrow's to be nice. And then rain on Wednesday. Rain on Thursday, and wind. So yeah, talk about harvest. Yeah, Chad Todd, Chad Tosh, you don't need to keep sending that stuff over here, by the way. There is dry parts of the world, just not here. That's not here. You get to the hilltop, looks great, eh? And then over there, flat. I had to just stop and take a picture of this. As far as you can see, that's half a mile. So yeah, that's a lot of bales. I don't know what the tons are, but that's that was funny. So yeah, that's the other thing you don't get to see as often on our channel here. These shelter belts. This was the biggest tree project. Shoveling a big pile in front of the baler. Oh, it's normally very good about sucking it in, but every so often it gets jammed up on that wind roller. There we go. So yeah, this is the shelter belts that we put in this half section. So I'll bring you back when we get down along the edge here, and you'll just see how big they are. Like, they're crazy big now. Like I said, there you go. There's for scale. Now, yeah, the Scots pines are a fair bit behind. You can see they're probably just a little bit taller than the tractor. You're gonna get the combine here for scale in a second. The cottonwoods are just taking off, so that's not bad for less than 15 years. This thing's having trouble again. Well, there's one thing I figured out at this point of the day. I can no longer bale running north. The intake was completely plugged, and the rad has got a fair bit of chaff on it. So it looks like I gotta head back to the farm and blow everything out, and then only bale running south. Which is a bit of a bugger, but no worries. As long as I keep going. not too worried. We're at 180 bales so far. So not bad considering those trees are the end of the fields that we started at. So yeah, hammer down. What's going on here? What? That's the wrong field. Oh, that's not a baler. That's quite astute of you. Well done for noticing. So, yeah, I took the tractor and baler back to the farm for a coffee break and let the tractor cool down, and we're going to clean out the rad and the air filter because, well, it was full of chaff. And then I was going to go back out baling straw. So I thought, just for poops and giggles, I was watching one of my favorite YouTube channels, Sunny Farms. Cole and his dad Brian. Big shout out. Great channel. One of these days I'll do a shout out again about all the channels that I watch for anyone from other parts of the world that like to see what happens over on this side of the pond. I checked the radar, and the storm that's supposed to be here at supper time is not coming here. It looks like it, but it's showing through the radar that no, it's going to Winnipeg, going to Portage area, which is just fine with me because they're still calling for rain on Wednesday. So I'm going to get this raked up. Hopefully it'll get a bit of wind, a little bit of sun on it for the rest of the day. It's 4 o'clock right now. And then tomorrow, a little bit more sun, a little bit more wind, and then at the end of the day tomorrow, hopefully, wrap it up. Wrap it up. So at least if I can get this stuff wrapped up, this field is done. That's this field off the docket. And then that way I can get back to baling straw and get as much of that done before the rain comes. What I might do when I'm finished raking up here is a few of the swaths that he had done before that last rain. I might see what happens with that rotary straw through this rake. Because I've never run a V-rake before this year, and I've never run a V-rake in straw before, ever. So, we'll learn together. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna keep going. Hello, cows. Yeah, like here it's very thin, but it'll make hay. But you can see here where the stuff is great. You can see it's already starting to white underneath. It hasn't been down that long, but just that bit of rain on there kind of bashed it down, and then it sealed it up. So that's how you know it would never dry out. And it's actually getting worse. So even if it was gonna rain, I was actually wanting to get it raked. That way you move it off the old ground, more chance of it drying out once it's sitting up like this than ever laying flat out like that. But man, oh man, last year with the old one-way bar rake, down, back up. Now, one trip. Oh, pardon me. Like I said, pieces to the puzzle. It's all just pieces to the puzzle, like getting that fence done, getting the trees knocked down. Big thanks to Max that came and did that, did a heck of a job. Saved me so much time. We were thinking he was going to have to saw those trees down and then haul them away with the skid steer, and then just have somebody come along and sort of rake up all the roots afterwards. There's Mrs. Piper Doug. Big shout out to her. It was her idea to contact Cochrane Stock Farms and Equipment, and she said, yep, they're Max, who's actually a local boy, he runs their track hoe with the thumb on it. He was up at Minnedosa was about to be done his job. He had a small opening before he had to head over to Lenore to go and do a geothermal job. And yeah, gave us, what was it, 2.5, 3 days? Huge game changer. Yeah, pieces to the puzzle. So, like I said, the only thing still left to do to that fence is the dip-de-doo hot wire that's halfway down. The wire on top is ready to be energized. It's just not got energy on it right now, but it will have, because that's the energy supply to this fence, which is where they will be going at the end of this week. Start of next week-ish. Like I said, they've still got to graze the paddock, because I'd like them to do that before they head south. Well, not south-south, but head into that field, because I want to start spreading poop. Liam has offered to come out weekends now that we're starting to get close to fall, because he wants to start either piling the rest of the poop or stacking bales or hauling bales or whatever. I know he just said to like, oh, I want to come out and get some work done. So he's going to be coming out Friday, and he's got that one wall in the corral to take apart, because we need that out of the way to spread the poop. Sprayer ruts. It's got to spread the poop from that one corral. What are they all running for? I think they're getting let out. Crazy. Anyway. So yeah. Kind of cool. I'm going to keep going. Well, we're back at her. We're swallowing up a heck of a windrow. And we got the disco lights on. That's right, we have a nuclear reactor running the tractor now. Nuclear retractor. Now this is Liam's little gadget. Trust my engineer son to come up with this. So, because I've got no AC and it was kind of warm today, not crazy warm, but warm enough, you put water in it, as you can see there, and it mists it out. So it's blowing right at me. So it does help drop it down like 5 degrees or so, yeah. And I just saw that the combine driver shut the combine down and they took off in the pickup truck, so it looks like they had another breakdown. So I don't know if it's a header problem or a big kitty problem. So yeah, it's not going so well for them. But knowing them, they always fix it. So I think we're at 210 or 212 bales so far. So we just bailed up the south end headlands to let him get in and out more easily. And I am now running the north and south mile runs. So this is paddock number 2. So this will tell me how many bales to the acre the straw is running. This paddock 2 is more level, and it's more the average soil type. Paddock number 3 and 4 will be the heaviest soils, but paddock 2 is sort of like an average, because there's one hill spot and then the rest is all sort of fairly like this, just undulates. So this will tell it's pretty quick, because I think if it's 40 feet, I think as far as I can tell, 40 feet by a mile. What does that make? 6 acres? I think that's what it is. I don't know. I'll maybe have to do the math later. But I'm going to keep at her.